Over the past couple weeks, I've talked about the perks of a small model railroad and the perks of a large model railroad. Today, I'm going to talk about the best of both worlds. Let's get modular today on Coffee and Trains. Welcome everybody to another edition of Coffee and Trains. Before we begin, I am drinking Green Mountain Coffee Roasters Dark Magic, and as always, I take it black with 2 sugars. So I've been kind of doing a progression of talking about small model railroads and large model railroads, and today I want to talk about the option that really gives you the best of both worlds and gives you the most flexibility in terms of building your model railroad. That's right, I want to talk about modules. Modules are something that have really grown in popularity, and they are something that can really give you a lot for model railroading and can solve a lot of issues that we typically have with building our model railroads and where to put our model railroads. So let's get into 3 reasons why you should consider a modular model railroad. My first reason is that you maximize the space that you have. And what I mean by that is when you have a modular model railroad, you can go ahead and put it up and have it running great. But when you're done with it, you can store it away in a very efficient, smaller space. That is not what a traditional railroad would take up. And that's going to help you out in terms of the size of your model railroad, in terms of what you can do with your model railroad, and it's going to allow you to move it around and set it up where it's best at the time for it. Sometimes it's going to be totally okay to set it up in your dining room or your living room, and sometimes you're going to need to set it up in your garage because you've got stuff going on there. A modular model railroad is going to allow you to do that, especially if you build the modules to be easy to move, which is another great thing about it. So when you have a non-permanent space, a modular model railroad is going to allow you to get the best out of the space that you have. My second reason is there are already a ton of module standards out there that can help you out. Some of the biggest ones, obviously a couple weeks ago, I built a T-track module, which is a really big in-scale modular standard. There's also in-track and in-scale. One of the biggest ones that there is Fremo, and that's typically an HO scale. And these all are really great at helping you build the benchwork and the base for your modules so that you can build them to a standard and you know exactly what you have to do with them. Another great approach is the TOMA system, which is done by Joe Fugate. It's not really a system, it's kind of an ideology. It's called the one module approach. And what that basically is that you focus on building one module at a time, and I'm going to talk more about that here in a minute. But basically, your modules will be custom and they're not going to be to any standard, but they allow you to be getting stuff done quicker. And if you're going to need to move your model railroad down the road, you're going to already have it be modular. So all these different standards make it a lot easier to decide on what you want to do and how you want to build your model railroad if you're building to a standard like T-track or Fremo. My third reason is really 2 different reasons, and it maximizes your resources. And what I mean by that is you're going to want to spend a lot of time working on this hobby throughout the years, and you're going to want to save money on it as well. Now, if you're building modules, you're going to be saving money because you're going to be building less. You're not going to be building an entire railroad all at once, which does take a lot of money. And since you're going to be building modules, you're going to be building it over time, which is just setting you up for years of enjoyment in building different modules, and you're going to steadily improve. And also, one of the coolest things about modules is if you don't like one at a time, you can swap it out for a different one. And for instance, if you have an industry that you like at this time, but you want to have a different industry at another point in time, you can just make another module that fits in the exact same space and drop that industry right in there and swap them out. It's something that's it's unique to modular model railroads. So modular model railroads are definitely a way to maximize your resources, whether it's your money or your time, and you're going to get a maximum amount of enjoyment out of the hobby. So those are 3 different reasons why you should consider a modular model railroad. I really consider modules to kind of be the best of both worlds in terms of getting a large model railroad with the benefits of a small model railroad. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's talk about some of the coffees that you guys are drinking. Maurice Grimes is drinking Javalia Columbia coffee with just a hint of cream. Sounds absolutely delicious. Take Fly Picks is drinking Walnut Creek, which is an Amish brand of coffee from Ohio. Very interesting. Never heard of that one. Boulder Creek Yard is drinking Some Town's Nitro Cold Brew with half and half a packet of sugar. I do love me some Nitro Cold Brew, especially on a hot summer day. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are building a modular model railroad, please send pictures to me. I would love to see it, maybe feature it in the next virtual model railroad show. There's an email in the description below that you can do that. I also want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. They're listed right here. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. A lot of cool things going on over there. They get a lot of sneak peeks and things like that. And if you're at the $5 a month level, you get a model to 3D print yourself. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.